Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook.
Albany police say 5 officers have been fired after an investigation into misuse of license plate reader technology. The department says 3 officers were terminated for improperly using the license plate readers, tools meant for only legitimate public safety and criminal investigations. 2 other officers were let go for earlier unrelated policy violations. Now, Chief Michael Persley confirms to WALB the following 5 officers were fired as a result of this investigation: Isaac Dancorius Whitus, Nicholas Dante Richardson, Brittany Ann Smith, Tatiana Janae Davis, and Jade Simone Jackson.
Yeah, people, this has been going on nationwide. Police officers all across America have been getting fired, been getting arrested for abusing this license plate scanner system called Flock, okay? This is a system that law enforcement uses where they can, scan the plates of a car and see where you're traveling to, where you're at. Now, a little bit more about this system called Flock. Who started or invented Flock? Flock Safety was founded in the year 2017 by 3 Georgia Tech alumni, Garrett Langley, Matt Fury, and Paige Todd. Now, they built their first cameras by hand at that guy Garrett Langley's dining room table before launching this thing publicly in March of 2017. Now, this is why they say they started this thing up. Garrett Langley is an electrical engineer, and he was the victim of a property crime in his Atlanta neighborhood. And he found that the police couldn't do much without solid evidence like a license plate number. So he learned that existing plate reader systems were too expensive. They're like over $20,000 per unit, heavy wiring, to be practical for most neighborhoods or police departments. So what he did is he came up with this thing that was cheaper, solar powered, cellular connected plate reader. And that became the basis for their company. Now, none of these guys have a law enforcement background before they started this, okay? And they claim that, we just started it for this reason. And now this company is valued at about 7.5 to 8.4 billion. Headquartered in Atlanta. By now, I'm sure you all have seen these Flock systems. It's like a small waterproof rectangular oval box. It's usually black and is usually mounted on a stationary pole about 8 to 12 feet high. You'll see them in neighborhood entrances and intersections and things like that, and roads that lead people into gated communities or whatever. It has no flashing lights, so it doesn't look like it's a speed camera. It just sit there, and actually most people drive past these things without even noticing it. And most of these units, they run off of solar panels and a rechargeable battery, so they don't need a wired power connection. They don't need that. That's why you often see a small solar panel attached next to the camera box. So it has a built-in cellular modem that sends the captured image and data back to Flock servers. There's no live streaming, just periodic still images and data. Boom, it gets the scan and sends it back to them. It captures the rear image of a car and the license plate number. Then it automatically checks that plate against national databases for things like stolen vehicles, amber alerts, silver, blue alerts, and stuff like that. Outstanding warrants, and these cameras can capture images of vehicles moving up to 100 miles an hour and from as far as 75 feet away, day or night. So that's what this system is. Now, what they use it for, again, it's supposed to be used legitimately for a stolen vehicle report, an active warrant, an amber alert. So this is what a cop does, whether crooked or not. Now, the officer logs into this Flock system with their own credentials, right? Their own credentials. Then they enter a search reason or a case number. Okay, they'll put in a reason why they're searching this specific plate number or a case number. Okay, so after they put that in, they run a query. Okay, which means it's going to show them this license plate number. It's going to just show them where this thing has been scanned at. So for instance, the cop could put in the license plate number to a stolen car, right? And then when they put that in, it's going to show them any area where this flock is at, where they might have scanned and picked up on his car, so they can say, boom, we know where they at, let's go over there. But then they can also do that for their sinister reasons, like trying to stalk a man, trying to stalk a woman, getting into some things that they shouldn't be into. Oh, I know such and such plate number. Let me see where she at. Yo, let me see where he at. Oh, you over there. You know what I mean? That's where it can get real dangerous. And that's where these officers who have been getting arrested and fired, this is the type of stuff that they've been doing. You know what I mean? So after they put it in, if there's no plate match that comes up in his flock system, everything is deleted after 30 days. Some departments hold on to these results longer. So that's what these officers have been doing, okay? So basically, they'll have no real case number. They'll have no real investigation going on, but they'll put something in. Then they'll put the plate in. This will belong to an ex-partner, or somebody they want to date, or somebody they want to get with, or whatever it may be. And then they would get the flock scan and see where that person's car is at in real time. And when they misuse this system and they use it illegally, they only get caught after the victim personally checks their own plate history or files a complaint. Okay? So usually they'll never get caught. Now, in the last 2 cases nationally, one in Georgia, it came to light after the victims use a website called haveibeenflocked.com, which compiles a public audit log records to search this database to see if they've been flocked or not. Due to people being able to go to haveibeenflocked.com, Flock, the company, has changed what's visible in these logs because of this haveibeenflocked.com situation. So they don't want people to see. Besides that, most of the recent firings of these police officers, mainly in Georgia, there's a lot of them in Georgia, are being caught by internal department audits, not by victims reporting. And there have been a lot of police officers in the state of Georgia getting caught up because Flock is from Georgia. The company's in Georgia, it's in Atlanta. So they'll have more of these systems going on down there. And people have been getting fired every single day from abusing this Flock system. I mean, police officers, people in law enforcement.
It's true. We found at least 20 cases where Georgia officers were relieved of duty and or arrested in the last year for using Flock for personal reasons, including accusations of stalking romantic partners, some of them fellow officers or deputies. You asked why they're getting caught now. Flock announced during an interview with Atlanta News First Investigates in April that it had launched a new audit assistance tool.
We built a tool that uses AI to flag for the city if there might be a suspicious search of some reason, or one that just maybe might be out of policy for the city. Every time somebody logs in and tries to perform a search in Flock, it is cataloged, and that's there in an audit log that's immutable. So there's public accountability in this.
And that's a lot of data. Remember, more than 90,000 Flock cameras nationwide photograph every car that passes, and that data is searchable by the government for 30 days. This new AI-powered tool now flags suspicious police searches for department supervisors. So instead of searching through millions of records in the audit logs each month, they're given a dashboard with the questionable searches and a needs review button.
Yeah, Brendan, so Flock's own technology helping catch the bad guys. But in the story that Bridget just did and the ones we've done in weeks before, the bad guys happen to be the police themselves.
Yeah, sometimes that's the case. In many cases, Flock says each firing and arrest of an officer shows its accountability system is working, but that raises 2 questions. In the years before the audit assistance tool, how many officers were abusing the system to track romantic partners without ever getting caught? And second, why has the company removed the names and tag numbers from audit logs when that data has helped the public identify some of these alleged stalkers with a badge?
Very good questions, but what data is Flock removing, and how might that help protect an officer who might use this for illicit purposes?
Yeah, they're actually doing it because of public records. We know of at least 2 cases nationwide, one of them here in Georgia, where the alleged stalking victims themselves discovered their exes in law enforcement were searching their tags, and they found that out because of haveibeenflocked.com. That's a website creating a searchable database from public records that others have requested. That led Flock to remove officer names from all external network searches replaced with anonymized Flock ID numbers. Flock said they did this to, quote, protect officer safety in active investigations after officers asked the company to protect their identities. Now, mind you, they track you, but they don't want you tracking them. Flock also no longer includes license plate numbers in the audit logs, so it's now impossible for you, the public, to see who is searching your car using this system that's watching everyone without your consent.
Flock abuse is similar to NCIC check abuse, which is also illegal. Now, a NCIC check is when an officer takes somebody's plate, puts it in their system, and runs that plate so they can see the information on that person, what's available, their name, where they live at, address, any prior arrests, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But in order to put a plate or a tag number in the NCIC system, it has to be an investigation. Something has to be going on. There has to be a reason why. But officers are doing that, you know, just because they want to spy on their girlfriend, their boyfriend, somebody in their neighborhood, somebody that they don't know. You know what I mean? So they will look this up. They will put this in a system and see what comes up. And oftentimes they would use that to abuse that person. That's illegal, you know, if it has nothing to do with this investigation. Now, the NCIC system, it returns records and warrants and criminal history, sex offender status, immigration flags, and things like that. Flock, it returns movements of that plate. You get, that's the difference. So Flock shows where this car is at. Boom, I want to know where such and such at. Let me see. Oh, he over there. She over there. The NCIC shows more of their personal information. You know what I mean? And this, the NCIC abuse, just like Flock abuse, illegal. Law enforcement, police officers do this. Now, this Flock abuse is not going anywhere. People will continue to abuse it. Where there are police officers will always break the law. That's what's going on. Maybe one of these so-called American patriot tough groups who are always talking about privacy, I don't know, maybe one of them might get a little crew going around and just start removing these things. I don't know, you know what I mean? But these guys are such, you know, F words. They talk tough, you know, only when it comes to doing something to a helpless black person or some kind of shine bone politician. But when it's time to really do something, they don't do nothing at all. But anyway, man, police officers are always going to break the law, but that's what's going on with this Flock system. A lot of this is strictly for romantic interests. A lot of cops are, you know, a lot of people in law enforcement are mentally off, possessive, abusive to their partners, men and women. You know, they try to get any edge they could. It's a lot of sleazeballs in law enforcement, people. I'm telling you. I know I've been around a whole lot of them. A lot of sleazeballs in law enforcement. White dominated field, of course. White people are there. They're going to be more sleazeball because they're going to come with the racist aspect. But a lot of black sleazeballs as well. I met some real Clayton Bisbee type dudes in law enforcement. Disgusting black people. Of course, disgusting white people. But don't let it fool you. You know what I mean? And when abusing something or doing something wrong, black people are going to get caught first. And I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. But people, get in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. Also, link in the description for my masterpiece. The N-word is no secret in the service. Also, link to the email list just in case the content disappears. YouTube start doing their thing. You'll know where it's at. Easy.